This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. The world's in a tough spot. Build your inner fortress and achieve some peace during the chaos. Visit BetterHelp.com/allies and get to building.
Hello and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'll be your moderator, Brandon Jones. Joining me this week, panelists Brad Ellis.
Hello.
Michael Huber.
Hello.
Michael Damiani.
And hello.
And making it all happen in the control room, Isla Hank.
Hi.
No Bloodworth as well, but Huber just jumping in.
Jumping in.
I had these two scheduled.
I'm here
Huber's like, I'm
before
here. Why
and
not?
after.
Why not?
I got
So
things
just
before, I got things after.
hang out. Here's a juice box.
Yeah.
Listen to your Walkman.
Do we have juice box?
Fill the desk. We have something better. We have cactus cooler in the
That's
fridge.
true.
I don't know who did that.
Yeah.
I don't know how those got there.
I mean, how did...
I assumed it was you. I
don't know who did that. I'm
Yeah.
insulted.
Yeah. Always
I didn't
Jones.
know if someone brought rogue cactus coolers in.
They are rogue, for
Like,
sure.
I didn't want to take someone's.
They don't sell those in
Yeah.
markets anymore. I had to, do some connections to get the Cactus Cooler and to sponsor this podcast. Distinguished guests, we are here to discuss some of the biggest headlines in video games this week, but before we do that, we must first answer for all of the mistakes that we made last week. Isla, begin corrections music, please. Hollow Knight for Switch was revealed at their E3 2018 showcase, and it was shadow dropped. So the chance that Silksong would show up in an indie world is low. Damiani was right. Pains me to say. John Carpenter did the music for Sentinel Returns on the PC and PS1. And according to YouTube comments, it was awesome. His Halloween theme was also featured in What Remains of Edith Finch and probably other games as well. But it's good to point out that his work probably showed up in other stuff. And in April, Phantom Lord won a legal battle against Twitch about the transparency of his ban. So it has happened. There is legal precedent for people fighting back against Twitch. Probably not the only story, but thank you for mentioning that. End corrections music, please.
Boop.
Huber priming himself before we get going here on latest Call of Duty news.
Ah, yes. Hot off the presses. Call of Duty. Vanguard.
Would you say, as of the recording of this podcast, people are still speculating, figuring out all of the news
Seems
that
like
has
it.
dropped?
Yeah.
How was this news dropped?
Just woke up and it was there, John.
You don't know how this.
I think it was
how
like
people got access.
It was like in game, I think, wasn't it? In
It was in
Warzone?
Warzone. It was in Warzone.
Yeah,
It was in
taking
Warzone.
page
That's
from
right.
Fortnite, dude.
Yeah.
And well, Black Ops Cold War, they did that as well.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But Fortnite did it so many times that I forgot.
You're
and
right.
Most people did. That
It's got the
that
the
they
mind
had already
share,
tried
dude.
to.
Seriously.
But you were not in
I was
Warzone to
not
get
in
the
Warzone.
deets.
No.
You were
no.
napping.
Yeah, I have not played Warzone, admittedly, in quite some time. But
But
always,
you catch up on Call of Duty, which I appreciate.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think Brad shares similar sentiment when it just comes around and you're either in or you're out. You know, is it a Call of Duty year this year for you? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Going to World War II this year. Back to World War II. Feels like we just had the World War II one like a couple years
ago, yeah.
But it's just such a timeless theater for a game, that
I think we're past the point in Call of Duty where it's like, going back, a big shift for
Yeah.
the franchise. It's just like, do whatever era you want to, and that's what we'll do.
The story sounds interesting. It's historical fiction. This actually got me, and it's the Nazis after Hitler dies are like trying to get someone to like run the empire, and you have to go in and stop them and like take them out.
Whoa.
So it's like all the scope of it feels really big. It's all the fronts, the Eastern Front, Western Front. You play as a new person in each, or like a separate person in each, and then they might, come together Suicide Squad style at the end. So it seems pretty cool.
But the modes, the multiplayer modes,
Yeah.
specifically, you were analyzing very carefully.
Yes. For the multiplayer, 20 maps out of the gate, 16 of those 6-on-6, which seems healthy. That's a nice number. One of the most important things for me going into a competitive shooter are the maps and how many there are. It can really make or break like your engagement for a while.
Especially this year, because there's going to be a lot of competition.
Oh, yeah, big Battlefield
Battlefield
here,
and
of course.
Halo.
And Halo, yeah. So 16 maps, that's a strong showing. But what really caught my eye was the combat pacing modifier, this new way to play, I guess, and search for matches. You can change it into 3 3 tiers, and it basically changes how many people are in each match to make it either slower or faster. So it can be 6-on-6, or I think it'll probably go down, they didn't say exactly, it could go down to like 4-on-4 and up to maybe 8-on-8, in the same space. So that can change how fast or slow a match is, which I really like that addition. I really, really like that.
What's your speed?
Probably normal.
Right in the middle?
Right in the middle. I usually like normal, but sometimes if I'm playing late at night, maybe I'm a little tired that night, or I just want to go in for, a slower pace. Sometimes I want a faster pace. Sometimes I'm in like blood-fueled mode, like we were playing the Ascent today. I was just in a mode where I was like, get me in there. I'm ready to shoot bad guys.
You're shooting everything, Huber.
Yeah. So
if it moves, kill it.
yeah. So sometimes I maybe want that chaos, or you're playing with friends. Maybe you're playing with a friend who doesn't play Call of Duty. Slow it down, or you got your pro gamer friends, crank it up. So I like that.
Well, speculating that maybe I wonder if crossplay, let developers consider more options because they have more people. They're like, we can segment this audience a little bit more and afford to do that and not have the experience, suffer because of it.
Yeah.
It does have crossplay, cross progression. 4 of those maps of the 20 are in Champion Hill mode.
Yeah, which they briefly said. They said it was like a gun game and battle royale, I think, kind of thing. You can upgrade in between rounds. I think they're going to reveal more about that mode later. Sounds pretty interesting, though. Yeah. I'm always down for these huge companies with, Battlefield, Call of Duty to experiment, try new things, Like Battlefield still has their thing that they're saving. They haven't fully revealed yet. So.
Well, I felt, it was the year Black Ops. It was Black Ops, right, that didn't have the campaign. That was the big shakeup.
Yeah.
And it felt like they had just so many weird modes. They were like, but wait, look at this mode and this mode and this mode. Having the focus on maps, it would seem, plus a zombies mode, which Sledgehammer games didn't have to worry about. Treyarch is doing that.
Oh, cool.
Reaching across the company. And just Sledgehammer, people had speculated that they were working on the next one. Launching November 5th.
After Battlefield. What do you make of that? Is that a good move, bad move, doesn't matter move?
I don't know if it matters.
Doesn't matter move? I'm glad that was an option, yeah. Well,
there's a new Warzone map, I think, too, they're adding with it. I don't know how many Warzone maps there are. I'm not familiar with it.
I've been so out of the loop on Warzone.
How many were there when you played? Just one?
Yeah.
So there's probably like 1 or 2.
It's been a while since
that's
I've
cool.
opted in. Yeah.
Video Games Chronicle. Notice that the Vanguard trailer doesn't have Activision at the end of it. The word Activision's not the end of that trailer.
That's interesting.
And, logos come and go.
Yes.
Sometimes in the edit, they forget that. Whoops, I put it. We did an impressions video the other day. I put preview on it by mistake. Whoops.
Well,
Yeah.
For 500 points, does anybody on the panel or in the control room have a guess as to why the Activision logo is not featured at the beginning, middle, or end of this Call of Duty Vanguard trailer? Anybody?
yes.
Yeah. Yes. Activision Blizzard.
Harrison Holt
Being
McHale
sketch.
on Patreon very much like to know what we think about that marketing call.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they're trying not to draw attention to the shitstorm right
And
now.
Activision is doing a very good job, I feel like, of just throwing everything on Blizzard.
Yeah, this is
Truly.
exactly what everyone thought was going to
Yeah.
happen. Is that Call of Duty is going to keep on going. It doesn't Blizzard to them is always expendable. Call of Duty is like where the money's at with this thing, and if nothing affects Call of Duty, Activision's like just going to keep on going as they're going. So, I mean, it sucks because any other time, I actually would have I watched the trailer. There was some stuff that even excited me, even though I'm not really into those games. Like this seems pretty epic, but with everything that's going on, it's like I can't get excited about your shit right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I was like, no. I was like, sorry. And just them not putting that name on there is just
I didn't even
it's
notice
just
that.
it's everything they're doing is calculated.
Right.
It is completely doing things to mitigate and minimize the damage that they're suffering from.
And it's the easiest thing to do. It's a phone call to the production house, and then they just take the logo out, whatever. But at the same time, who cares? I can't. I'm trying to imagine this consumer that would see an Activision logo at the end of the Call of Duty trailer and suddenly be shaken out of whatever, Call of Duty excitement that they're
Right.
enough to cost Activision money.
Exactly, you're right. The
It's so
average
bonkers.
person just thinks Call of Duty, and they either don't need to give a shit or know about Activision. They don't
Right.
care about the company behind it. It's like Call of Duty. Maybe diehards care about like who's the like Treyarch versus Sledgehammer, stuff like that. But otherwise, they don't give a shit about that. And then like Activision, because kind of like posture themselves, be like, oh yeah, like it's synonymous. Activision Call of Duty is synonymous. We didn't have to put our name in there anymore. Like we're beyond that. Like we can do some bullshit like that.
We
So
wanted
it's like,
Sledgehammer to
we
get
wanted
more
the
credit.
studio to have more credit.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think about like giant robot movies. I think about like the
Nice.
Fantastic Four, right? I think about like the Power Rangers getting together and pooling all their abilities. They can do good when they're apart, but man, when they get together, they can topple giants. Here Halo is coming out. Battlefield's making a big strong play this year. California itself is trying to take down Activision this year. Is any of this going to put a dent in the sales now that we know so many
Will
details about
Vanguard-
the new Call of Duty?
Will Vanguard be the #1 selling game this year? Is the question.
Probably.
Will
Yeah.
it be? Will it be?
That's a very blunt
Yeah.
way of
Well,
putting it.
it's either that or the GTA 5 update. We'll probably sadly one or the other there. But it feels bad because like I saw the scene of the dogfight with the gunner in the back, and I'm like, is that gonna be co-op? I'm like, yo, I was about to like, yeah, Hubert, I want to play this mission with you where one of us is the pilot, one of us is the gunner. I was like, yeah, but then it's like, but it's also Activision. I was like, shit. It's like,
I get that.
I was like, all right, another game, give me that. Like Battlefield, give me that.
Yes.
Give me that. I'll play with you with Battlefield.
It is It's for me. It's Battlefield's year. I mean, I haven't been this excited for a Battlefield in a good long while.
Yeah.
Like since probably Battlefield 4, I was this excited. Maybe it's been a minute.
Yeah, I think Halo is going to be big this year too. But like personally, in terms of like Battlefield or Call of Duty not selling, I think Call of Duty, no matter what, will continue to sell and sell and
most.
sell. Like I feel like it's eternal.
Yeah.
It's up there with like Madden and FIFA. It's like the same caliber of it'll just sell no matter what.
Do you think it'll be #1?
Yeah, I do.
Same.
Without a question, I think
Yeah,
it
I
will be.
think so too.
Is Call of Duty as eternal as the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim?
Call of Duty, like a single Call of Duty. Honestly, I'd put Modern Warfare kind of close to it.
Has Call of Duty or Skyrim had more? Skyrim on its own,
Oh, Skyrim on
not
its
just
own.
Elder Scrolls, had
on its
more
own.
releases
Yeah,
in the last couple years. Apparently, we were coming up an anniversary, which
10 years.
which we've been reminded of thanks to QuakeCon 2021, which also talks a lot about the remaster coming to Quake, which is I think the most exciting
Sick.
thing.
Yeah.
But there's a new version of Skyrim. It's the anniversary edition. Comes out November 11th. This will be coming to next-gen consoles. They will be adding fishing
Okay.
to Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I love that it was God, I didn't even look it up. It's the director's edition or something. There was already an expanded edition, and they're like, that will upgrade to the anniversary edition. So the remaster will update to the more remaster.
Lot going on.
And it'll just, can just kind of push Skyrim through the annals of time. But Quake looks cool. What experience the two of you have with Quake?
Quake, I didn't have a PC, like a gaming PC, till like late high school, so I didn't play like the PC version. The only Quake I ever played was on N64, and I don't know what Quake that's based off of or whatever, but I played that and I had a good time.
Sick. My friend had the Quakes and Unreal Tournament, so I would always go to his house to play those.
Yeah, dude.
Played a ton of Quake and Unreal Tournament. His computer was in his closet.
Nice.
So like open up the closet.
Whoa.
Not like a big closet. Like
Yeah.
it was just flush in there.
Bet it
you
sounded
know?
good in there.
Yeah.
The speakers would really
Yeah.
do some
That's
work.
how I had my bed.
Nice.
I love Quake and
Love
Unreal
Quake.
Tournament. I used to play that nonstop as a kid. I loved them.
Nail gun.
Yeah, dude.
Nail gun hype. Beep, 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 beep.
What do we think about this?
This is fantastic.
Is it just called Quake, or is it Quake Remaster? Or
Quake
Yeah.
4K maybe? Let me check.
Yeah, get the exact. Because then I saw on Game Pass 2, on Game Pass PC, they released 1, 2, and 3
great.
Arena.
Yeah, it's
Super awesome.
I think it might just be called Quake.
Yeah.
Like the logo at the end just says Quake.
I wonder if Quake will get the Doom treatment of like a reboot, soft reboot kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's just called Quake.
I don't know. You know, like after
Wolfenstein and Doom are just crushing it. Like honestly, yeah, Quake is
yeah,
due up for that, Brad. That gets me hyped.
yeah.
Do you think it can maintain it? Because Quake is always, as somebody on the outside looking in, I don't have a lot of experience with it. I always have to question kind of where we're at with Quake because they have done, revisits and it's definitely a franchise that celebrates it in its original form. It has evolved, but it is still a celebration of what it's always been. And so, I often wonder, like, what could we do with Quake? Could we got a Doom movie, we didn't get a Quake movie, so like,
they just did that one that was like so hardcore. Forget the exact name of it. It came out a few years ago.
Arena
Quake
Champions?
Arena? Yeah.
Yes, just unapologetically so hardcore.
dizzying to watch.
Yeah.
This one has a new add-on, like a
3
Dimensions of the
expansions
Past.
included,
Yeah.
plus Dimension of the Machine.
Sweet.
And
Never played that.
Dimension of the Past, I think.
Dimension of the Machine.
Okay, well, Polygon is wrong then.
In the trailer, it says Dimension of the Machine.
No,
Maybe
Polygon.
maybe I was wrong. I don't know. I just like,
It's made by Machine Games.
Yeah.
oh, maybe. I just remembered the tech. I rewound the trailer just to make sure. It's like Dimension of
Maybe they'll do Quake then.
Yeah, well, both Wolfenstein and Doom feel like they're in good pause points to go on to do a Quake.
I feel like they can do one more Doom though.
Oh, definitely. But do you take one game off? Do they go make something else?
That's a good
and
question.
Then come back
But
to another Doom.
Machine Gun Games they don't do
Machine Games.
or Machine Games. They do completely different. Like the Doom people can keep doing Doom and they'll just do this. Like maybe they're taking a break from Wolfenstein. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because I liked Youngblood. I liked that when it came out. That was cool. I like that like experiment.
'Cause
like,
they did.
co-op.
They
Co-op
did
campaign?
like 4 things all together. Just Wolfenstein,
Yeah.
the reboot, then Old Blood, then 2. Then the
Blood
DLC,
hype.
Old
Shout
Blood's-
out.
Old
So
Blood's
maybe
great.
they're ready to do something else.
A lot of memorable moments in Old Blood.
Yes.
You are correct. Dimension of the Machine. Polygon.
Yeah!
There it is.
Step your shit up.
Shit up. Love making fun of people that do better reporting than we do. They specifically mentioned in the trailer, they called out, it kind of felt like, subtly, jokingly, the fact that a lot of games look like Quake nowadays. There are a lot of modern PC shooters that are being developed now and released now and making money now that have captured that aesthetic. I keep hoping that one day they'll shadow drop that gangster game. We haven't gotten any updates on
Fallen
that.
Aces.
Fallen Aces, which looks amazing. Which is more, Duke Nukem-y, than, Quake specifically. But there's the Gothic game, the horror game that we loved
Dusk?
from, there's Dusk.
Medieval?
No, there was the Gloomhaven.
Oh, yeah. That one's more like
Oh,
Gloomwood.
That's more like
Gloomwood,
Thief.
Gloomhaven's the board game.
Right.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of people recapturing that aesthetic, and Quake was just kind of like, hey, a little bit in the trailer, a little attitude. Like we were the original. If you like that aesthetic, do yourself a favor and go back and play this somewhat in its original form, but definitely dressed up.
Definitely.
Online and local split screen multiplayer and co-op crossplay. There are mods and missions that you can download in the game itself.
All
Love
great.
it. Just a piece of history again. Quake, super important game, super important franchise, awesome games. Quake 3 Arena, shout out. And just I love that like they just release them all on Game Pass. Just like here you go. Like so jolly.
Enjoy that history.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Trent Reznor soundtrack.
Yeah.
I really liked that as a kid.
That split screen multiplayer.
Yeah, it's great. It's good stuff.
Dude,
Definitely.
group stream Quake.
Please, we have to do
Oh,
this.
Just
We
sit
have
and
to
just
do this.
huddled around the TV, like really close.
We have to do this.
Pokemon presented some things this week in a Pokemon Presents. And it's funny, there's some bigger things that I want to talk about, but I like just kind of throwing to the side. Go, Masters EX, and Home are all still rolling along, still making so much money. Cafe is getting a remix. I'm less familiar with Cafe. What's Cafe, Damiani?
Blanked. I watched
Give me
it
the
all.
details
and
on Cafe.
I forgot what Cafe is.
It's like a matching thing.
It's like a puzzle type game or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a hectic match 3 game.
Yeah. And Pokemon, as I said, Pokemon Go 5th anniversary. But that game's also going through some turmoil right now with the community being angry about like things they rolled out for COVID being rolled back. And they're like, no, in the name of accessibility, you should keep some of that stuff so everyone can enjoy that game. Pokemon Unite, more updates for that. Mobile September 22nd, they said that's coming out. But yeah, they got those out of the way, like for people who play them, because there's a lot of people who play each of those games, nice update. Also, I forget what the Masters update was, the other one, the mobile one.
Right.
I don't remember what specifically
specific
said the
updates,
update was for it,
yeah.
but yeah, each of them got, their time in the limelight there, and then, they moved on to the two that everyone were there for, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Legend Arceus. How does that look, Damiani? Just the visual fidelity of Legend
So you want to know
Arceus, where
specifically
we
just about the visual fidelity.
just the visuals.
Okay. It looked.
This is the open world. Some would say Breath of the Wild-esque. Some would say that's not at all the case, especially after we just saw it this week.
Yeah,
Pokemon game coming out.
It looked better than the first time we saw it. It still doesn't look as good as I imagine it could possibly be. There's still a lot of chug. The environments don't look nearly as... Here's the thing. I was talking with a friend about this, and I completely agree with this sentiment. Breath of the Wild, which is now a 4-year-old game, which is doing the open world thing just like Arceus is trying to do, looks better aesthetically and just on a technical level than Pokemon Legends Arceus does right now. And that's coming out in January next year, few months away, and it's just screams that delay this game to polish it. Is this really how it's going to be released? Like, the environments don't look as detailed. They look flatter. Like the topography doesn't look as varied as Breath of the Wild. Even in towns, they showed NPCs finally in town, but they're just like sitting there, not even like really moving at all. And it's funny because I know you will probably ask about it in a second. Like, visually, it looked okay and rough around the edges, but the gameplay loop, I think they nailed that part of it.
I'm curious to see how they pull that off. We can make fun of the visuals of Arceus anytime. If you want to move on to the gameplay specifically.
Well, I think at the end of the day, as long as maybe the performance hiccups are like very minimal, if the fidelity is not as high as some other games, if the gameplay itself is like really awesome, people are going to give that a pass, I feel like, because they want a fun game. They want Pokemon to try something, the Pokemon Company and Game Freak to try something new. And I forget if Game Freak's developing this. Sorry.
I believe they are. I think this is the one that
just
they're
double
focused
check
on.
me on that so I don't get that wrong. It is...
It's
It's offering a lot of things that I think people have been asking for, and the question is, how does this play out going forward, I guess? Because if this turns out to be a really amazing game, right now it's Pokemon Legends Arceus. Is it they're calling it a mainline game, but like, will like the next traditional Pokemon game also incorporate stuff like it just opened the world of possibilities, I think, with everything they showed in the trailer. It was just like, yes, like running around in an open environment. Okay, thank you, Isla. Just tossing a Pokeball, whatever you want. Like, if they're too strong, to start a battle right there, no transition, just go fight in the wild open. Tall grass, finally the RP of tall grass. It's like you're in the tall grass because you're trying to sneak up on them. So go back to all the older games. You weren't really sneaking up on the Pokemon. They weren't sneaking up on you. And then like just the setting, it's like a prequel to the Sinnoh region, and it's about exploration and going out, like riding the Pokemon like mounts that sea one. Okay, sorry to say this real quick. The narrator was the most jolly narrator through all this, and then she's describing this fish. It became a meme on social media.
Dude,
I
haven't seen the meme, but I wrote this down because this is...
The fish feeds on the souls of like other dead fish that come downstream, and
in their school, man. Bascu Legion. Quote, possessed by restless souls from their school that perished during the journey upstream.
Holy shit.
Dude, it's like, and the narrator saying this in the most jolly voice describing this dark thing.
These are the dead souls. Hell yeah. That's so funny.
Because it's like, it has the vibe of like the Stingray, like coach, the teacher from Finding Nemo, just like, oh, let's go look at crazy Pokemon. This one eats its fellow school souls. What a world. Yeah. But to me, the easiest thing is, if people hate the gameplay, then, all right, that was a fun little wacky experiment. Hope you enjoyed it. And then, no harm, no foul. Do you think that's in the position that they are in? Do you think they are in love with one or the other, or they're just like, hey, whatever the fans...
Part of me thinks that's why
their money, that's where we'll go.
Maybe the fidelity isn't where some people would like it to be, because this is an experimental game. They want to see the reception to this, and if it takes off and it's praised, they go from there. They build upon this, and there's only up to go. I mean, they'll look like geniuses when they make a sequel that's even better. That looks like amazing, and you know, like that. But at the same time, if it doesn't pan out, like it just looks good on paper, it looks good in trailers, but when we play the game, it's like, okay, this wasn't that great. Give me, you know, old Pokemon, it was better than this. They just move on. Like, oh, that was a fun little one-off that we tried out, and no, next traditional games just can be like normal Pokemon.
I think there's a hard number within Nintendo and the Pokemon Company for how much they'll spend on a video game. It doesn't matter what the video game is. It doesn't matter if it's mainline or anything else. And I think that I have a feeling, I'm making all of this up, that the team came back to them and said, hey, if we really want to innovate, we should pump, you know, some more resources into this. And they're just like, no, because we've learned time and time again, we don't need to. Like, we just don't need to have it. Like, there's so many bearded Pokemon now, Huber. Like, a lot of the Pokemon have, like, big, long, crazy beards because they're all up in the, you know, cold weather.
Yeah.
And, like, you can't see the edges of some of the beards. So something like Growlithe's face is gone. Like, it's just, he looks like a bad Santa Claus. It's just a lot of white. But it's gonna sell bonkers. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which we'll get to in a second. Gonna sell bonkers. And like I said, go and Masters EX, all of that stuff.
I'm curious about this game,
Selling a lot.
but I'm always curious about Pokemon, and every single time I get burned.
Every time. Yeah, I'm done. I'm
But
hard done.
I realized
I tried with Pokemon what was
Sword
it?
and Shield.
And the other one.
Let's go
Eevee.
Pikachu.
Let's go.
Let's
I tried both. I'm done. I'm fully done with Pokemon.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Done, Eevee. I'm done.
Here's how I'm thinking about it. When I played some of Shield,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, I really cannot get into like just going around in this world where it feels very like I'm on a set path. I really want to go out there and explore and explore this region and find Pokemon. Like, I want to go through some sick cave, like go through some whole journey and like find a legendary Pokemon there.
Rare Pokemon, yeah.
This looks like it's kind of going in that direction, so I'm very happy about it. But I'm very cautious.
Baby
I'm
steps.
very cautious.
Yeah. Yeah, if history repeats itself, I mean, the mechanics you were describing in the trailer and stuff, I mean, it'll just be that for 30 hours. And nothing more than that.
Yeah.
You know?
I still don't think it's going to be as long as some people like.
No.
I think it'll still be around like what 20-ish, 25
I mean, I don't think a
hours,
Pokemon
probably.
needs to be
Yeah, they're
super
never that
long.
long. No.
Dude, but they showed you like gliding with the Pokemon. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like the traversal and stuff seems jolly, and it's just like what is going to be like the major dangling carrots to explore other than like documenting and capturing and encountering every single Pokemon. Will there be, you know, because you know there's no like gyms, so it's like will there be any kind of like caves, like dungeon environment type stuff? Will there be like puzzles maybe, like not like Zelda dungeons, but like any kind of extra element thrown in the mix? Because that gameplay loop, I don't know how long that could. It'll be exciting, but how long can you do it? But again, they're not that long of games, so maybe they don't. You know, maybe it'll work out.
Right. Isla, interest?
I think
Arceus?
I'm sort of in the Huber boat where like I hadn't played a lot of Pokemon. I don't have a history with Pokemon. My first one was Let's Go Eevee pretty much, and then I played Sword a little while and I was like, yeah, this is kind of not a very good video game. And sort of like what you said, Jones, like sometimes I worry that they put in only as much effort as like the minimum effort they have to because they know they're going to print money and it doesn't matter. And it's like, on the one hand, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, you can't argue with them. Like, they literally are the highest grossing entertainment thing ever. Yeah. So, like, it works. And also, like, we have to we cannot forget that, like, the core audience for this game has never heard the phrase graphic fidelity. Like, they don't care about draw distance or anti-aliasing or any of that. They just want to see Pokemon and run around. Like, because they're 7. And, like, that's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be dope, and it just might not be for us. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Arceus might be a good time to learn about visual fidelity.
I mean, don't need to get into it. I still think this game would be better suited on an upgraded system, but you know, as you said,
everything would be.
Everything
like
would
the Steam
be.
Deck?
Steam Deck.
I live for the Damiani Nintendo subtle shots. Just
We're in the Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
It's like hacks.
just threw it in there.
Hacks.
Love it.
January 28th, we're getting that one. And if that was enough Pokemon, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Don't know which one I'm going to get yet.
You know, and I say I'm hard out, but like there is there are few zeitgeists stronger than Pokemon, you know?
It's strong.
The pull is strong when everyone and everything, like everyone around you's playing it, you know, and it always looks so
So,
good.
it
You
might
know,
get-
like you're always talking about the jolly vibes, talking about dead fish souls, like everything about it always sucks me in. And then when I finally sit down to play it, I'm just like, eh.
So Huber, in the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, they're adding a new underground system,
Hideaways.
and you get a hideaway
Love
where you
player
can
housing.
put statues of Pokemon, like customized, like player housing type style,
Sick.
with statues. But the statues you put in your room affect what Pokemon you might encounter in that secret underground labyrinth.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that might have hooked you.
It's cool. It's
Player
cool.
housing.
Player, hey,
Like
if you can make your hideaways cozy, if the hideaways are super
Can I put a
cozy,
fireplace?
yeah, if I can have a campfire,
Looked pretty sparse.
It
in
looks
the
like a
trailer.
bunch of statues. I
It's
gotta be
not,
honest.
it's not very detailed.
pretty
But they got
sparse.
like a mining mini game they're adding to it that looks
right?
kind of like
I love mining.
yeah, professions.
yeah, like puzzle.
I
me
liked
up.
Let's Go Eevee. You know, like
Um,
who knows?
You can wear outfits.
customization for the characters. I'm really happy about that. That actually,
cool.
you know, I like the more customization in Pokemon. You can put stickers on your Pokeball, so it alters the effects when you toss them out. So you can make like fireworks when your Pokemon emerges, or like cherry
That's
blossom
something.
petals, stuff like that. Just small things like that, and then
I like an Arceus, this little firework. It like pops out of the Pokeball
I-
because it's all ancient.
I feel like it looked visually
deal.
better as well from the first time we saw it. It looked like there was better lighting and some like filters applied to the game, so it looked like it had a little bit more pop. It wasn't so flat, and the aliasing looked slightly better. Like it wasn't so much like jaggies around everything. Because remember when it first came out, people were kind of underwhelmed by how it looked, but this time, even though it's still in the same style, it looked way more polished to me.
You're talking about Shining Diamond and Pearl.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Nice.
Isla, have you seen the trailer
For
for
what?
Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl?
Yes.
Next Gen Hef asks, that trailer was weird, right? With video editors amongst you all, I was wondering if you could give your take on all the zoomed in text scenes in the trailer
That was weird.
and
yeah.
why they thought that would make a good trailer.
They were trying.
They were
something
zooming
different.
in on the keywords, but I don't know. It's weird. Yeah.
It didn't work for it didn't work for me. It felt like an effort to try something different because the trailers have all been the same for how long, like 25 years now. It's like
yeah.
But
okay.
is the keyword zoom ins going to just be an Arceus situation when we get to the game? It's an experiment that just doesn't work.
I think it was an experiment. They were just trying something with this, and it's like because their trailers are either like traditional gameplay or they mix in like live action with like their Go trailers, where it's like a bunch of happy people with CG Pokemon running around and stuff like
right.
that. So
It definitely
Couldn't afford it.
it definitely
Yeah.
felt like
I'd just do
something
zooms.
as an editor that you would do like trying something with what you've got,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
which is weird because it's like you have a text tool, but whatever. Yeah.
They sorry.
I was gonna say, do you think they don't want their games to look so good because then they'll be like judged harsher or like perceived as the giant company that they are, you know? Like, do they make it purposefully look not that great? So
I
everyone
love
is
these
always just like, oh,
conspiracies.
Pokemon.
That's a fantastic Pokemon
You keep
conspiracy.
coming up
yeah,
with-
put it on the list.
Right.
We need to
don't.
make a,
I don't.
but
But that
think
was.
so.
don't know about that. Yeah.
We need to make a Huber's
know.
conspiracy
Huber's that
Pokemon
for
conspiracy
10 minutes.
show.
All
Yeah,
right.
we need a conspiracy
It's
show.
just
with
because
Huber.
they make so like you're like, oh, they can't afford it, and I'm in my head, I'm like, but
No,
they can.
They can, of course.
So
they
what
can.
the hell?
Because Nintendo could, but that's the thing is Nintendo when they did Breath of the Wild, it's like this is really important. There's a
On the-
crossroads for this franchise. This is not only needs to make the Switch look good and capable of doing something like this. We need to prove that this gameplay is going to work for Zelda. Whereas Pokemon's like, yeah, sure, experiment, but this is your budget. Period.
It definitely it did their games definitely can look better within the platforms they're on, even like by Switch standards. Like there's a way to go up, but I mean, at the same time, Switch is not the most powerful hardware ever, so like I don't think they can ever shoot for that. It's not on here, but like last week we talked about like also news about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 voice actor talking about it. More story stuff reports came out said that like apparently there was like some like trouble with like the system getting like the technical stuff. Like a source reported that like it's like hard to optimize, and it's like imagine that. Like I mean obviously COVID impacted that stuff, but I have to imagine like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, whatever their next project is, plus Breath of the Wild 2, they're like probably going all out to get that stuff to run on Switch.
Expansion pack.
That's why I'm like worried. They'll probably get them running.
The RAM pack.
I worry that they might you like conspiracy stuff or like your theories. I hope they don't have to cut stuff down because it can't run properly on Switch. That's my fear with like these two teams, Monolith Soft and the Zelda team, being so ambitious. Yeah. Like I mean, Pokemon, you can argue the Game Freak's not very ambitious, but like the Zelda team and Monolith Soft have been very ambitious on the Switch, and it would break my heart if it came out that like we had to cut some cool concept because couldn't get thrown on the hardware. It's like, come on,
compromise.
Like these
ambition.
Imagine like your AAA best developers at Sony or Microsoft telling you we need better hardware, and they're like not giving it to you. It's like what?
Yeah, harsh.
My dev friends who are developing for Switch have told me like that Breath of the Wild is like witch magic. They're just like the optimization and the it's just incredible. They're just like we don't even know.
And that game was originally made
a
for
Wii U
Wii
game.
U too.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, yeah.
Finally, no Pokemon Sleep, which has gone to sleep.
No mention.
Is that coming back sometime soon, or
Dang,
we,
it's
like Vitality Sensor?
It's one of those rare instances where a project was announced that probably was like borderline and got scrapped, and like the thousands of projects we never hear about. It's like that one just like got through a little bit because they were a little bit more optimistic, and they're like, yeah, we have no plan for this. Bye. Like, forget this. We got better stuff. We got Pokemon Go. We don't need anything else. That budget went. Pokemon Sleep's budget went into Pokemon Unite. There you go.
Probably the right move then.
And now, a word from our sponsors. How did you choose which internet service provider to use? The sad thing is, most of us have very little choice. I'm glad Bloodworth isn't here because he would break down crying right now talking about internet service providers, because ISPs operate like monopolies in the regions they serve. They then use this monopoly power to take advantage of customers, data caps, streaming throttles, the list goes on. But worst of all, many ISPs log your internet activity and sell that data onto other big companies or advertisers. To prevent ISPs from seeing my internet activity, I protect all of my devices with ExpressVPN. So what's ExpressVPN? It's a simple app for your computer or smartphone that encrypts all your network data and tunnels it through a secure VPN server so that your ISP cannot see any of your activity. Just think about how much of your life is on the internet. Any bit of your life on the internet there?
Nope.
Panelists? No, not at all. Well done. Sadly, the list of people you've messaged, sites you visited, and videos you've watched, gulp, get tracked by tech giants who can then sell your information and profit.
Sell it. Watch it all.
That's why I recommend ExpressVPN as the best way to hide your online activity from your ISP. You just download the app, tap one button on your device, and you're protected. And ExpressVPN does all of this without slowing your connection. That's why it's rated #1 VPN service by CNET and Wired. Michael Huber knows how quick that is.
Yes.
Isla Hank knows how quick that is.
It is excellent.
Yeah.
And that is on my mobile and PC device. Super, super quick. It's a theme. It's a running theme on Easy Allies podcast sponsors. Quickness.
Yes.
So stop handing over your personal data to ISPs and other tech giants who mine your activity and sell off your information. Protect yourself with the VPN we trust to keep you private online. Visit expressvpn.com/allies. That's ExpressVPN, EXPRESSVPN.com/allies to get 3 extra months free. Go to expressvpn.com/allies right now to learn more.
Shout out to how easy it is to use. So easy.
Easy and quick. Summer's here, and the living ain't easy if you've got swamp ass. How will you stay on top of your sweaty bottom? Try a refreshing spray from a Hello Tushy bidet. I got good talking points here, but I just want to say we're doing potty training, and it's a complex process. I don't know if you want to do the bidet right away, especially when you're like instructing at a distance. The only negative thing I would ever say about the bidet, you might want to hold that off and talk about like a 5-6 step program. That's like step 8. But for us adults who know how to use it, fantastic. Keep your sweaty crack clean all summer long with the brand new Hello Tushy 3.0 modern bidet attachment, which I have and I do truthfully use and do love a lot. The whole family does. It's stylish, eco-friendly, refreshing little shower for your ass. Hello Tushy 3.0 cleans soggy butts like a champ, but it doesn't stop there. It cleans itself with the Smart Spray trademark automatic self-cleaning nozzle. No one wants to work up a sweat in 100-degree heat. That's why the Hello Tushy bidet attaches to your existing toilet with no electricity or extra plumbing needed. And Hello Tushy cuts toilet paper use by 80%, so it'll pay for itself in a few months. I just moved to a much hotter climate, pushing the Hello Tushy bidet to good to have, to absolutely essential. Plus, Hello Tushy's got your ass covered with a 60-day risk-free guarantee and a 12-month warranty. Already got a Hello Tushy on the pot? Treat your ass to the new 3.0 model. If you're new to the revolution, join millions of happy Hello Tushy customers right now and have a clean butt with every flush. Defeat swamp ass. What's up?
Need the patch notes
I'll
for
see if I
3.0.
can get 'em, I know.
Yeah.
It's a thing of the past. You don't even talk about 2.0, man. It's 3.0, 100%. Go to hellotushy.com/easyallies to get 10% off plus free shipping. That's a special offer for our listeners. hellotushy.com/easyallies for 10% off. hellotushy.com/easyallies. Life is full of stressors. It doesn't matter who you are or what you have, your life is probably stressful. You may not be feeling down and out depressed or like you're at a total loss, but if your stress is high, your temper is shorter than usual, or even if you're starting to feel strain in any of your relationships, you could probably use the chance to unload. Unload the stress and get it out. Talk to someone who's completely unbiased about your life, someone who isn't going to judge you or take sides on anything. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Unload the stressors and get some unbiased feedback. You'd be pretty surprised at what you might gain from it. See if it's for you. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Easy Allies listeners get 10% off of their first month at betterhelp.com/allies. That's BETTERHELP.com/allies. And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. In the most vaguest way possible, a new Castlevania game was announced this week.
New quotations.
New.
No.
So you're not excited,
What's the
Brad.
lowdown,
It's
Brad?
not-
Oh, well, this came out a while ago. Not here, though, I believe.
Castlevania Grimoire of Souls
Then it was taken down.
was released in Canada in 2019 and then discontinued months later for reasons unknown.
Not for reasons
unknown.
unknown. We honed in on its beacon.
It's like Aliens is always at the forefront, and then now with the new game coming out, you try to just please,
You'll never.
especially with something as revered as Castlevania, try to keep it on track. This is coming to Apple Arcade, no release date.
Exclusive.
The site says it's, quote, a full-fledged side-scrolling action game. That's what Castlevania is, right? That's the
Yeah.
those are those games I used to like.
Yeah.
Good selling point.
Good to hear. Quote, the beloved Gothic fantasy series returns with an original game exclusive to Apple Arcade. Play as Alucard or other legendary characters. Epic amounts of content, including 60 levels, a wide variety of equipment, daily and weekly missions,
Grind those out.
which
Yikes.
upset a lot of people when I said that, but of course,
Yeah.
that's what I want to hear.
Yeah, grind those out.
And more. Set in a world after Dracula has been sealed away, the pages of a new story bringing together heroes of the past have begun to turn. What is this?
It's fucking mobile Castlevania that doesn't get me that excited.
Sounds like
But-
a filler arc.
I want to try it.
What do you hope it's going to be, and what do you think it's going to be?
What do I hope? My hope is so low, Jones. I don't hope anything from this game. I literally don't expect anything good from this.
A wide variety of
Hope it
equipment.
doesn't
Like,
suck.
the other characters you play have, maybe they'll play a little different. That's cool, I guess. I want to see if they add any more characters. They have some cool characters. Like, they only have one Belmont that you're playing as, which is Simon, what I was surprised about. They have, like, a couple of the DS characters. I was like, oh, okay. And they put, like, Soma Cruz on, like, some of the art, but he's not playable, so
For
I'm
now.
confused about that.
Probably do those dailies, dude.
Yeah.
Pay up.
Yeah,
I mean-
you can probably buy them.
Yeah.
It's Castlevania kind of coming back in a game, but it's far from what any of us want.
They say 60 levels, so it's just like linear, side-scrolling, traditional,
Yeah,
like
it's
old
not-
school
it
levels,
is,
like Castlevania
yeah,
1,
kind
2,
of.
3.
It's not
No
like that.
branching
I saw
paths.
some of it. It looked kind of like a mix of them. Like, you're going to probably... I haven't played it, but my assumption is it's going to be you're in this zone, and you can go through this area just kind of however you want. Then the level will end, and it's the next level. It'll be a mix probably between the original style and the Metroidvania style.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not hyped, but I want to try it.
Yeah, anytime long dormant franchise isn't a headline at all, I take it as a good sign. It means it's not dead. You know, this is a Castlevania being released. Like Brad said, it's not the one we want at all. No offense to
Not on
it.
the
It's
console
a-
we want either.
It's
I
a
would think.
re-release, man,
Yeah.
of a phone game that
Yeah.
like died,
Exactly.
that we never even got.
But it's got a pulse. Castlevania has a pulse,
It
even
does.
if it is so faint.
does.
That's just what
It
I
has a
hold on
pulse.
to.
Sure.
You know.
It does, but it has like a pulse of like a weird freak
Yeah.
that I don't want anything
Yeah,
to do
like
with.
what is coming back from the dead here? Is it
What
the
did
same
you
thing
get?
that you really want?
What's the name of the brain? Abby something.
Abby, normal.
This feels like an Apple phone call. Apple called Konami and was like, "What do
Yeah.
you got?" And Konami's like,
Here.
give us 6 months. We'll get into something."
We'll port this to
Yeah, this feels like Castlevania coming back in the most Konami way.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
business as usual. I mean, there was that Contra phone game that I was my Pop-Tart or whatever, my whatever. I was just disappointed in it. So just another day for me.
Yes.
It's another day.
Well, I mean, you at least did better than I did because you saw this and you were like, "Oh, that's that thing came out in whatever country and then was discontinued." I was like, "Woohoo! Look at this fun new Castlevania." You can call it something like Grimoire of Souls, and like, I'm not.
Yeah,
Dude, how do we get the Legacy Collection? Konami.
I don't know. It's a miracle.
Yeah, I feel like
a
wow,
miracle.
we got something at least.
Yeah.
There is some
goodness.
exciting stuff coming out, and I don't know. I might have dumb hope, maybe a little bit. Holding on.
It's gotta come, dude. Castlevania's gotta
If
return in the way we
that
want. It will.
rumored,
It's only a matter of time.
the rumored like GBA collection comes out, and then this comes out, then it's like, whatever, dude. I don't care. Like, whatever, Grimoire of Souls, who cares?
Yeah,
But if it's
big
the
one's
only
coming.
thing, it hurts more.
Yeah.
because the new
Totally.
Ghosts and Goblins was better than I was
Yeah.
expecting, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of kind of these old platforming franchises.
Capcom though.
Yeah, it's Capcom.
Right, but there's a lot of these old platforming franchises coming back, and like at first glance, I'm not really that impressed, and just kind of like, oh, they're just kind of coming back doing their same old thing, and I don't know. I mean, it's better than nothing. I think I could
Sure.
Konami,
get a kick
Sure.
out of
your
this.
Castlevania is a big TV show now, and Metroidvanias are very popular
Seriously.
genre. Like Bloodstained.
Hey, Metroid Dread's coming. It's only a matter
Metroid
of time.
Dread's coming.
It's only a matter of time.
Well, to be fair, I trust Nintendo much more to make an actual video game than Konami.
I really don't know why Konami doesn't just like license out their
Hey, no,
stuff.
you know,
Like it's an easy way for them to make money, and then other people can make games with the licenses. Like,
Netflix said they want to make games, mobile games. Just like,
yeah,
Maybe they're giving it to Netflix.
Yeah, give it to
Just let 'em go.
Netflix. There
Because
you
if
go.
they release a stinker, it takes a while for the brand to recover, I feel like. Like if they release a shitty, big Castlevania game and it doesn't do very well, I feel like maybe then you know, it
Konami's at like
damages-
-1,000.
yeah,
That's
this
like-
this.
But like they still, every time we think of Castlevania now, because it's been so long, since we've had a good one, we think of Symphony of the Night. We think of the glory days of Castlevanias. That's on the forefront of our minds. Whereas if a brand new one came out and it sucked, we'd be just like, oh, whatever, dude, Castlevania. Like it's a thing of the past. But right
If
now
a-
they've kind of got us in that
If a big deal,
nostalgic ground.
I mean, I guess, but they're not. There's too much competition now for me to just give them a pass because it's Castlevania.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's so many good games out there like that. And I love the Castlevania IP, but it's like if you're giving me a subpar Castlevania game,
Yeah.
like I don't get that excited about it.
Yeah, that's why I think they just won't. They're not going to make one for.
But they could.
They could. They should.
We're falling into a Game Freak situation here.
I know.
They could.
Goddamn mobile games. It's gonna happen though.
Like
watch your mouth.
shit, man. Just pay Yacht Club Games or something to make you a Castlevania game or something.
Yeah, honestly.
They'll do a
Cherry.
great job. There's
'Cause
a lot
you
of developers
see-
out there that could do a great job.
Yeah, and you see it online. Like people, like developers have been like, "Hey, can we do it?" Like,
Right.
You know, that actually happened. So it's just wild.
We have an update. A lot of updates because a lot of these aren't really announcements. Like Pokemon Presents didn't announce anything new. QuakeCon, we had gotten details about that remaster. Vanguard's really like the big new thing. We did get an update from Abandoned,
oh boy.
and I want to bring it back to this podcast because we left it up in the air. It was like, okay, there's a lot of mysterious things going on, but there's a trailer app that is coming out. It was due on August 10th. We'll reconvene whenever we get our hands on this trailer app. Well, it's come out. Again, it's supposed to be live on August
downloaded
10th,
it.
but it's out now.
I watched it on the app.
All 5.1 gigs of that trailer
The
app.
whole, I did it. and then I immediately deleted it.
What'd you think of the trailer?
I was
It's like-
offended. I was offended.
It's like 12 seconds long?
because I didn't know that going in. I was like, okay.
Wait, so it's just an app that has a 12-second trailer?
It's a 12
It's not even 12 seconds.
And that was it?
No, it's like 1 second. It was 1 second long. Yeah.
Why did they do an app?
Yeah.
Because
It was no joke. Feet walking by on a floor.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Could have been
That was like
anything.
it was like 2 seconds long.
So this is a horror
Yeah.
game that came out from a company called Blue Box Studios. People
Yeah.
thought this is Hideo Kojima being sneaky because Hideo Kojima likes to be sneaky. This team said, headed by Hassan Karaman, that said, no, I'm not Kojima. We are not, now is saying it's not really a horror game. It's a very confusing setup. But specifically, this trailer app is fascinating because it's the teaser, and then they were going to get a demo, and then a bigger teaser later.
Yeah. When you boot it up, it's like right there, and then there's all these other grayed out spots that are coming soon or whatever. So it's like it's like they want you to keep the hub.
But it's
the
5
abandoned.
gigs, so is all that
Yeah.
stuff already in there?
No idea. I downloaded the thing and it just gave me the 3 second feet walking by. I laughed. I was like, wait, is that it? I was like, oh, what the hell?
yeah.
It was a good looking boot. I mean, a boot walked by. Yeah, to be fair, it was a good. It was like, it looked like a village-esque visuals, dude. But it was obviously like some CG movie probably, and not in game. Like it's all just.
They're like Mr. Magoo, it's like he falls all over everything, but he eventually gets where he's going. He's kind of like Forrest Gump, he's not, he's things got a little rocky there for a bit, but he always comes up and he wins at the end of the day. Yeah. And it's like they're just slipping around this advertising campaign. He officially said, the creator of Abandoned said the trailer app is, quote, a really big disaster. And yet
really?
It's one of the most talked about games of 2021. And that's... Quote, we dealt with multiple engine issues in the development of the app that occurred last minute after we spotted a graphical glitch, which is kind of like the app equivalent of like Dog Ate My Homework. It was just like, oh yeah, something happened last minute. You wouldn't have believed it.
I mean, I'm not a programmer, but someone who's worked for a company where it was involved in like apps being pushed to like platforms like iOS. Last minute things can like delay by a few days to weeks over the like most mundane things. It is, and it's usually the approval process though, and going through recertification that seems to be the delay versus like actually recoding the whole thing.
Right.
Though that does play some part into it. It doesn't seem important to me because did we talk about this last week? I feel like it's deja vu. This company. The only thing that's weird about this is that. They're a Sony partner with this, so it's like, did they scam Sony as well? Because this company seems to have a history of like announcing shit and then never.
And now everybody's trying to.
It never comes out, and the one thing that did was trash. So it's like, did they sucker Sony into some money? And like, are they gonna feel the wrath of Sony once Sony realizes like, wait, what? You're not really making a game. Okay, you're in trouble. Like. I don't know what they're doing. This seems crazy, but what is clear is it has nothing to do with Hideo Kojima and Silent Hill. It's like, get this out of here.
I feel like the best case scenario for this game now is that it's like a 1 or 2 hour experience and that's it. And because now it's just this unwieldy, out of control thing.
Keeley steps in, makes the documentary.
Yeah,
no clip steps in.
Yeah.
Secrets revealed.
I'll tell you, as someone with zero stakes in this, it's been very fascinating to watch unfold.
It's
been very entertaining for me.
Not fascinating for weekly updates, but since this app.
I don't pay attention at all.
I like the check-ins, the
Yeah.
abandoned check-ins, the abandoned saga.
When we do get full gameplay of Abandoned, it will definitely be relegated to also this week.
Every time I remember that blue stands for best level user experience, I get so irritated.
And please mention that every time.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Wow. Also this week, 4.8 million people played Sea of Thieves in June, thanks to the Pirates of the Caribbean expansion.
Nice.
Which we still need to finish out.
Update?
Yeah, we do.
It kicks ass.
It's
and
free,
sense.
I had
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
great.
of fun while
Still
playing.
some
It's
of the
super good.
Still some of the highest grossing films of all time. So
Sure.
that number checks out.
Yeah.
It is heavily rumored. People who get the podcast version of this podcast heard Huber screaming about it last week that Rockstar is remastering GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. That came out like an hour before we recorded the podcast, so it's old, but and not officially announced. But
I swear these are going to look better than anyone is expecting. I swear these remasters are going to be not like Mafia Definitive Edition, but like better than they've ever looked. Noticeably.
it's tough because if you completely just make that draw distance amazing, GTA 3 is like, oh, this is a tiny map. You kind of just notice like, oh, this is just like 3 little baby islands next to each other. San Andreas though. The draw distance San Andreas not good on PlayStation 2.
Pretty foggy.
Very smoky game.
foggy.
Very foggy. Yeah.
Hey,
a lot of mist.
June gloom.
Yeah. I'm excited. Ready to be excited. Nintendo ordered ROM Universe to destroy all of its games, which seems like friend code fodder, and we talked about it on Frame Trap, which this obviously leads to the greater conversation of game preservation and Nintendo seemingly against that at all turns. People Can Fly claim Outriders hasn't made as much as Square Enix hoped, because they are going to enjoy residuals whenever those happen, whenever Square Enix has, I guess, made back their investment. That has not started trickling in yet. And Square Enix is kind of holding that number close to their chest. And Outriders had millions and millions of people playing it. There was definitely a zeitgeist around it. It was a big Xbox Game Pass deal at the time, but not enough. Is that surprising?
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I wonder, I want those numbers, damn it. Give me all the numbers. Because I want to know the number, the deal, the Game Pass number, what the details are there.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if maybe they gambled, and they said, okay, we'll do the Game Pass deal up front and then hope people keep playing. And they kind of tried to do the live service thing. I wonder if they tried to do that because of a Game Pass deal, and they tried to how do we keep our players playing long term? So I just wonder, all that, the inner workings of that.
Well, there's definitely been, PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, success stories of games. It's like, oh, well, I have this, I have already paid for it with this subscription that worked out really well. I hope that balloon hasn't burst. I wonder if it has, or it just doesn't. Because I thought I was going to consider Outriders one of the success stories.
Yeah, I thought it was a big game. I know it had launch problems, obviously connection issues, quite a bit of problems at launch, but overall, I thought it was solid.
Ooh, another miss for Square on
betting
on Western Studios.
Exactly.
It seems like.
Yeah.
Seton McLean on Patreon says, but this is classic Square because Tomb Raider didn't make enough money.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Hitman did make enough money.
Yes.
What are these crazy expectations?
Yeah,
Square just won't let go of them.
Yeah.
Or is it just...
I don't know. Are they expecting Final Fantasy numbers or something? I don't know.
High hopes there. Be careful. Riot delayed a, quote, move for relief from the Department of Fair Employment and Housing. Yes, that Department of Fair Employment and Housing by 2 months. And so it's interesting at all of the Activision Blizzard stuff going on, just to point out that Riot's still, for not in the same type of, suit that was filed. But which is why specifically the, quote, move for relief. But it's just interesting that Riot's like, nah, we'll do that in a couple months.
Didn't California's whatever the bureaucratic branch that's doing the Activision thing also tell Riot they need to tell their employees, you can come talk to us too if you want to. I thought it was that recently.
I mean it's the DFEH that's specific. Yeah, that's knocking on both of their doors right now.
Yeah.
The Tripartite Alliance for Fair and Progressive Employment Practices is investigating Ubisoft Singapore. That's happening very far away from where we are, and we will get details on that. But it's just lots of doors being knocked down, lots of badges being shown.
Yep.
Aeon Must Die posted a new trailer on YouTube, completely ignoring its launch scandal. Do we remember Aeon Must Die? This game was announced, and then the developers who had now left the company said, they stole this game from us, basically. We have all left, and these are just the owners that are releasing this. And then Aeon Must Die vanished. And now they're back. And the developers...
The thieves are back, or the people who left?
They left. It's not their game anymore. So they're off making another game.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're making a fighting game. And then this trailer pops up again, and they specifically issued a statement where they were like, yeah, nothing's changed. They were like, just because they vanished for a couple months and came back.
Oh my.
Don't think that we've figured this out. We've never talked to them. They've never gotten back to us.
Wow.
And now they're like, you don't remember when that happened, right? It's like, no, we do. Yeah. Just going to another part of the internet. What if we sell it over here?
What
in this part of the internet?
Wow.
Control has now sold 10 million copies.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
mil.
We get
Wow,
updates on
congrats.
game sales, but like
Remedy.
I'm pulling for Control. I want more. I want much more from that
Yo,
world.
that Control, whatever that project they talked
The
about.
multiplayer one?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Kazuma Kiryu and Yakuza from Yakuza has joined the cast of Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
I was already so in for Super Monkey Ball. I was like, yo, this is the one. I'm hyped on this. And then this was announced.
Yeah.
This is now like an event.
It's not a super complicated character model.
Yeah.
I want like 40
Perfect.
characters in this. I want
Perfect.
them to go nuts.
Yeah.
Biomutant surpassed 1 million in sales.
I saw that. Yeah.
It recouped its development costs in its first week.
Best box art and best title. It was like
Yeah.
Snakes on a Plane, dude. Snakes on a Plane hype. It just the name and the character were enough to sell that game. Biomutant, awesome raccoon.
I know.
Like that sold that game.
I'm a sucker for games with just one word. I was like, ooh. Not a lot of people have the balls to do it.
Yep.
And Steve Spawn wanted to raise $1 million for his 40th birthday for Able Gamers and pulled it off.
Nice.
Nice.
I've been following that. Did not know that happened, but he finally hit that mark this last week, and that was that's incredible. Good job. Let's play a game. From Ian Alexander. It's called Lost in Translation, Taiwan version.
Oh.
Try to guess the correct titles of these games translated from Chinese to English with the infamously inaccurate Google Translate. They are all games currently being discussed on Taiwan's top gaming news site, Bahamut. Love and respect, Ian.
Bahamut?
At Alexander
Yo!
_.
Sick
Arts.
site.
So I'm giving you the Chinese translation from the site directly. Just copy paste it.
From Bahamut.
What is Matroder Survival Fear?
Matroder
Survival fear.
Dying Light.
Aliens
That's a good
Fire
guess.
Team Elite.
Matroder
Matroder there.
Days Gone?
Survival Fear.
Resident Evil.
Metro?
Metroid Dread.
Oh, Metro.
Metroid Dread.
Oh.
I was like, literal. Is it like, is that Metroid
Metroder?
mistranslated? Yeah.
Nice.
Fight Tornado 5.
Just oh no. Earth Defense Force? No, Just Cause
Fight
5?
Tornado 5.
Tornado? What the hell is a tornado? And think of a tornado.
Hurricane.
5?
The 5 is probably the best clue, right?
It's not. I mean, Street Fighter 5.
Street Fighter
Street
5.
Fighter 5.
Wow.
Tornado 5.
It's with 5 in it.
funny.
Like,
Okay.
Polar War Howl 5.
Polar Warhowl 5.
Soul Calibur 6.
there's not 5 for that.
Battlefield.
Say it
5?
again.
Polar War Howl 5.
Also
Polar
Street
War-
Fighter 5?
No, Polar
yes.
Warhowl.
Gears of War 5.
Frostpunk?
Great. Yes.
Far Cry 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
Far
Polar.
Cry.
Okay.
Nick Kids Channel All-Star Super Smash Brothers.
I don't know what the game's name. What's the English game's name? I don't remember.
The Nickelodeon
All-Stars.
All-Star Fighter
All-Stars,
one.
I think.
Close. I'll give it to all of you. It's All-Star Brawl. But yeah, I mean, it's
Whatever.
yeah, that was a gimme.
That's great.
That was a gimme for
Love that.
everybody.
That's perfect.
War Ghosts on the Horse.
Ghost of Tsushima.
There it is.
Nice.
Well
War
done.
Ghost
Well
on the horse.
War Ghost on the Horse.
Battle of the Paladin Fighting.
Panzer Paladin.
Dude. Battle of the
Godfall.
Paladin fighting.
Godfall. Endwalker. Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker.
No.
I don't know.
Focus on the fighting.
Yeah.
Battle of the Paladin Fighting.
Didn't the Samurai Warriors just come out?
Naraka Blade Point.
Naraka Blade, yeah.
Great guess.
I mean, there's Guilty Gear.
Great
but
guess.
Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh.
Tommy,
Guilt?
how
Don't even
Russian
say it.
that.
Don't even say it in full time.
Paladin fighting.
Crimson Knot.
Dude, Crimson
Knot.
Knot?
I like
Crimson
that title.
Knot.
That's a good
K.
title.
Crimson Knot. Like a rope knot.
Naraka Blade Point.
What has red in its title?
Fortnite.
What has a variant of red in its title? Not red, but
Oh.
Scarlet Nexus.
Hey!
Good job.
Cool game.
The Passing of Trial, Annihilated Memories.
The
Near
Passing
Replicant.
of Trial Annihilated.
Near Replicant?
Can that be Melody of Memory?
Yeah, Melody of Memories?
That would be so
Oh,
awesome.
it'd be
First, dude.
so good.
This is a 2-word game. None of those words are in The Passing of Trial, Annihilated Memories. Lost
Gone?
Judgment. Lost
Lost
Judgment. Nobody was so good.
That's the best name. Please write that
I
down.
know.
It's so good.
Put that in the
Fighting
review.
Trio 4. Fighting Trio 4.
Dragon Ball Fighters.
Fighting Trio 4.
Fighting Trio.
Oh.
What's a fourth one?
Yeah, what's
Streets of Rage 4.
Streets of Rage 4.
Why did you let Brad get it?
Yeah, nice, Brad.
Sick.
Evil Castle Reversal.
Evil Castle.
Castlevania. Grimoire
I
of
mean, that's what
Souls.
we thought. Evil Castle.
Evil
Reverse-
Castle Reverse.
Oh, Resident Evil
Yeah, RE8
Resident Evil Village.
Village.
or Reverse.
There it
Resident
is.
Evil
Reverse.
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 Forgot about that.
It's not coming out. It's never coming out.
Bloodslayer 2 Blood Fortune.
Dude.
Bloodslayer 2.
I'd play that.
Yeah.
What? Bloodslayer 2?
You'll be disappointed when you find out what it is.
I won't play that.
If you bought it and downloaded it and then booted up the game and got Red Dead Redemption 2 Blood Money, you'd be sad.
I
That's what it
played
is.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Blood Money?
What's Blood Money?
That's the new expansion, the Bounty Hunter stuff.
Ah.
Desperate Different Dimension.
Ratchet and Clank
Hyper
Rift Apart.
No, you think, yeah, because it's new. This is not a new game.
Quantum Break. It's back.
Wait, Desperate what?
Desperate Different Dimension. This game is actually being remastered,
Shin Megami Tensei.
and that was just recently announced.
Oh.
Big remaster coming. Remake potentially. Dead Space.
Oh, Dead Space.
Oh, Brad got it. He said it
Wow.
Dead Space.
with me. Zero,
terrible
The
at this.
Witch of the Crow.
The Witch of the Crow.
So bad. I can't even.
Bayonetta?
The Witch of now.
Great guess.
Oh, Dead's Door?
Dead Death's Door.
Dead Death's
No, Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black.
Nice.
Okay,
That's so much better.
Well done. Brad, I think you took that one.
Jeez.
Good job.
Crazy.
Wow.
That was a fun game.
That was fun.
It is now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
From Super Samicom. As someone who loves playing and getting immersed in open world games, but doesn't have the time to invest into games that they used to, I find myself drawn to post-launch DLCs that offer a slice of the main game, but with considerably less fluff. Think Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline, the Warrior of the Future DLC for DBZ Kakarot, or the Eastern-themed expansion for Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is the best one. That's the second expansion. Not that I have anything against the lengthy epics that developers create, and I understand that consumers want the most bang for their buck when buying a game, but it makes me wonder, are there any DLCs or expansions that you found more enjoyable than the main game they're attached to because they showcase the best parts of the experience while trimming the fat? What other open world franchises could benefit from modestly sized standalone expansions? Those are two
Minerva's
questions.
Den.
Minerva's
Oh.
Den.
Was Bioshock 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I never played that.
Good one.
And I mean, Bloodborne
so
is
good.
obviously flawless, but Old Hunters
Hunters.
is so good.
And then Lich King was
You
better than anything I
played
did in Burning
through it.
Crusade or the
What
standard
about Leviathan?
World of Warcraft.
Mass Effect?
Oh my god, yeah. Some Mass Effect DLC is
Oh,
incredible.
Citadel.
That stuff, though, it feels so integrated into it, I guess. It just doesn't feel like
Okay.
a separate.
It's not separate enough.
But I mean,
What about
it
Blood and
is, you know,
Wine?
it is an expansion,
Yeah,
like
Blood and Wine's
DLC.
good.
You guys talk about Blood
Blood
and
and
Wine.
Wine.
The best, probably. One of the best.
Blood and Wine's the best DLC I've ever played in my entire life. Like,
Yeah, I
hands
could see
down.
that.
It's not even close.
I mean, if you don't want to play the whole
Yeah,
game,
Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone both, you're getting
You can just
so
hop into
much
that,
good
too.
Witcher 3 without 100 hours. Like, oh my god.
Can you
Standalone.
just jump into those?
Yeah. Yeah, you
jump-
can.
Blood and Wine?
It gives
Blood
you
and
a
Wine you
character.
can.
It gives you a
Yeah,
level
Blood and
like
Wine you
30.
can.
They're
Dude.
they're the best. Oh,
Future Connected, if you don't want to play like a 70, 80-hour RPG of Xenoblade Chronicles, you play that. I mean, you're going to kill the story for the... You can't really go back and play the original for story anymore, but if you want to
Right.
like sample something of that universe, that one's pretty good.
and Assassin's Creed, the new ones are just so damn long. And most recent is the Siege of Paris DLC, which I quite liked. You know, it's like 10 hours instead of 100. You're getting some Valhalla. But specifically Assassin's Creed Odyssey's DLC, they did 2 3-part things.
Oh, cool.
So 6 kind of chapters.
Oh,
And they were just so great. You know, Odyssey is another freaking 100-hour game, so it's nice to just dive into some modestly sized DLC instead.
It's our most modestly sized standalone expansion.
modestly sized. Yeah.
Just Cause is a franchise I thought was just out of control there for a second. We got 3. I was like, wow, that's kind of That's neat. That, I'm excited about the future of this franchise. And then 4, like less than a year later, they just announced it so quick. And it's like, this maybe could have been an expansion to 3, or I'd love for them really to invest in one standalone.
Hyped, and then that came out.
Yeah,
Jones,
3 and 4. 3 and 4 were both a little bumpy.
Yeah.
4 especially.
I loved Last of Us Left Behind, and I didn't like Last of Us 1, but I really liked Left Behind.
Hell yeah.
And because I think it does. I don't think it really spoils anything. I think you play Left Behind first before the original Last of Us.
Tiny bit. There's
a little bit.
It's 2 time periods. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So you kind of
Like when it takes place is sort of a.
But good stuff. From Rahul Misal, have you ever not finished a game because you didn't want it to end, always saving the final boss for another day, just to make the world you're living in last a bit longer?
Yes. Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade. I haven't completed. Why can't I think of his name? It just blanked on
Chadley.
me. No.
The secret boss, Vice?
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't beat him yet because I'm like, I won't leave that. I'll come back sometime later. I'll always have something to come back to.
Once that trailer for part 2 drops.
Yeah. Like just taking my sweet time.
I'm
No rush.
I'm still waiting to get the
Come
last
back
Valkyrie in
whenever
God
I'm
of War.
feeling
I'll get him. I'll get her. Just I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
Building up my strength.
This can backfire though, because I remember as a kid I would withhold games I was really excited about from myself, and sometimes like with Vector Man, I think I withheld it for so long I forgot about it, but I was holding it off because I liked it so much.
I had to force that Doom Eternal DLC down the pipeline because I wanted to play it so bad, and having to relearn it. You step away from some of these games so long, it's hard to get back in, and it was just you have to struggle, maybe.
Commit,
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna struggle for a bit, dive in.
Well, I did the arena so many times in Final Fantasy VII Remake before I fought, the last part of the game, because I'm like, I just want to be sure. I don't want to get wiped because of some stupid numbers or something like that. And then halfway through this massive grind going through the arena, I finally realized how you're supposed to play that game. I discovered all these dumb shortcuts I didn't know, and then even then I went to the spoiler mode and they were like, you didn't change your weapon. I'm like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
So many.
That blows my mind.
That was wild.
But this
Maximum RP.
You made it hard mode for yourself.
Buster of the whole game.
Yeah.
But this is Breath of the Wild. I mean, this was me just realizing what I needed to do in the last part of Breath of the Wild and being like, no rush. I will see you later. Amanda still hasn't finished Breath of the Wild. Never did. She was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm training for the last boss and looking over, and she's just doing some side thing or running up some mountain. Good enough.
Oh, that reminds me that I fully did this with Morrowind and Oblivion. I played those for hundreds of hours and never even started the story on Oblivion. Literally never even started it. The gates never opened.
There should be Far Cry 4, how you just can sit in that room and he'll come back. There should be that in all of these big RPGs where they let you just bail right away. Somebody just runs and finds you in the middle of the field. Where have you been? Mm-hmm. Sorry. Link, stop fishing.
I guess, The Witcher 3, I guess I prolonged as much as I could,
Sure.
Classic open world Jones move, just
Oh, but they also there are moments in Witcher 3 where they're big story thing coming. You might want to get ready for it.
Yeah.
Scott Killingsworth, thanks to the passionate recommendations from y'all over the years, I've jumped in on games I would have likely let pass me by otherwise. On the personal testimony of several allies, I have played such titles as Hades and Final Fantasy VII Remake, and enjoyed them immensely. Now I need your help once again. After years of hearing its praises sung, I'm ready to get back to the classics for Final Fantasy VI. I'm, however, unsure what's the best way to relive this classic. What would the panel suggest to be the best way to play Final Fantasy VI in this modern age?
Classic.
That or the GBA version?
Super Nintendo Classic or the Virtual Console on Wii and Wii U, if you still got that lying around. Those are the two ways that you can do that. They will not mess around. You will be playing the original version of Final Fantasy VI and just. PS1's fine. You just tons of the load times are
Yeah,
brutal.
I played it on PS1, and
if you get that PS1
recommend
copy,
if you have the chance or other options.
Yeah, you can watch the cutscenes on YouTube. From
Yeah.
that. You don't have to buy the game.
and the I would throwing the word emulation out there. We're gonna talk about Nintendo with its ROM attacking. Just saying. Game Boy Advance version has some new content and looks really great. They glossed it up a little bit. It's just tough that there's no Game Boy Advance I played it on that it just kind of softens the whole experience. I don't know. There's just something weird about the colors in that game on that system specifically. But if you were to have it on a bigger monitor, by your own means, possibly.
If you were to do that.
Yeah. But it's like for me, that Super Nintendo Classic was the Final Fantasy VI machine. I was like, it's neat that this
Yep.
FF6 machine came with these other games. It's cool. It's cool.
I fought Kefka in Final Fantasy 14.
Me too. With you. That was fun.
Phantom Train.
Yeah, that was actually sick.
Yeah, I got to see it in 3D. I saw the remake already,
Wow.
Jones.
Really? I didn't know Kefka's in Final Fantasy 14. No one's ever told me that on social media or in person or at events.
Dude, did you know?
Yeah.
Kefka's
Did you
there,
know
Jones?
Kefka
Yeah.
is in?
Is Lightning there?
Yeah, was.
It was.
Was.
Event.
She came and went.
Just passing through.
came and went.
She's busy.
Did
Somebody-
they contextualize it? Like, did she
They-
literally come
It's
through
like
a
the
dimensional rift?
Sidious type stuff where
Yeah.
like different dimension you crossed over.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not like they're in the world like naturally from there.
There was a moment where I was running around 14 and I heard the 13 music and I was like, dun, dun, dun. And I'm like, what? Do I know that tune? And I like looked over and like there was.
She's run. You followed. It was great. You like ran into her and she like led you into battle and stuff. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But when I saw that, everything was there was like, this game can't shock me anymore. It's over. Somebody tweeted at me, Huber, in a wrestling match. Somebody had Kefka was better than
I
Sephiroth.
saw that.
Oh, there's been a ton of that. Like people doing the FF8 one.
It's more gripping than some of the stuff happened in the ring. It is time for bets. Next week's bet, Aliens Fireteam Elite launches on August 24th. Before the next podcast, I'm going to read the last 10 reviews on OpenCritic. How many times will I count the word mostly? Mostly. Michael Damiani? 3. Michael Huber.
Yeah, I read the bet. I understood the bet wrong.
Oh.
So I said 2.
Okay.
With a dollar sign.
With a dollar
Appreciate
sign like
that.
James
I
Cameron
appreciate
did when he
that.
was
I
making
appreciate
Aliens.
that.
I also said 3.
Whoa.
Yeah, shit. I thought you were just gonna read the blurbs on it, not
Just
all.
the blurbs?
Yeah, you know when you go to OpenCritics and it's just like the highlights.
Oh no.
We've been doing
You're
bets.
gonna read
for
all
what?
10.
We've been
Bro.
doing bets like this for 4
I know.
years.
Oh my god.
I was-
Especially for aliens. Why
I
would
was
I
in
do the
another.
blurbs,
I
man?
was in another
okay.
headspace, man.
It's okay.
okay.
I
Huber's
wasn't
out
here.
of it today, man.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Isla.
Well, shit. I said
Well,
3
shit.
also.
Wow.
It's gonna be like 20. It's mostly.
I said 15. Yeah.
Oh.
Mostly.
Yeah,
How
you
many
got
times do I
Well,
word
if
right
it's
when-
3, we get 3 points.
If it's
Yeah.
3, you sweep.
Yeah.
that. I'll take that. I'll take the gamble then.
Come back to me, Bloodworth.
Love it.
Come back to me. I need your bets. This week's bet, the War for Wakanda came to Marvel's Avengers on August 17th. It's awesome. It's
How'd
really
it treat you?
cool.
How'd it treat
Wakanda's
you?
neat. Black Panther's neat.
Yeah.
They do a really good job of just showing you the world right away. Two boss fights right off the bat in the camp. I only did the first couple hours, and really neat. And Kratos is T'Challa. So it's just like, how are they gonna play off of Boseman's performance? And he just comes in, bro. I'm like, yes, this man who can do whatever he wants
I
to.
love
voiceover.
that guy.
So hard.
Stargate SG-1, bro.
I was curious right now, on August 19th, 2 days after launching, how many people are going to be watching that on Twitch. For reference, 1,000 people were watching it last week before we did the podcast. Michael Damiani bet 4,200. Michael Huber bet 22,000.
Need this.
Isla Hink, they do need this. Isla Hink
They
bet
need this.
7,000.
They need it.
And I bet 8,000.
Come on. Oh no. Come on now. Come on now.
It's 1,000, man. It's literally.
It's
didn't-
1,000?
They
Who
didn't.
bet 2,000?
Because Jones, from what
Didn't
I
make it
heard,
dead.
I heard it's awesome, but
Didn't
it's
make it dead.
once again, I heard it's like 2 or 3 hours and that's it. Back to the grind. It's like that's
You can buy a cowboy hat. You can put a cowboy hat on Black Panther. I was out $5 very, very quickly. Bummer. The lowest one being Michael Damiani.
Wait, I was.
4,200.
Nice.
7,000 next lowest. 8,000 was me. Oof. Bringing our scores to Jovial Penguins 20.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. Should I
Hang on.
slow it down?
Everybody-
Just came out.
everybody
the-
needs money. That's why they call it money.
Damiani?
Danny DeVito.
Why is it not loading?
Are you serious?
Here we go. Support Nabisco workers striking for humane working hours, fair pay, outsourcing jobs, no contracts, no snacks. The Penguin.
One of the harshest
for
things.
me.
One of the most volatile things the Penguin has ever said. Vociferous Beavers 15.
How
me
many
tell
do
you.
we have?
20.
Woo!
Tar 15. Wow.
Dang, I thought Avengers would be.
Let me tell you about Isla rubbing it in and patreon.com/easyallies. Patreon.com is where you can go to support the Easy Allies if you would like to. You can support us, obviously, by listening to this podcast. But let me tell you something that I don't think gets communicated this often. Like I said, there was a little nugget of Grand Theft Auto craziness right in the middle of the 2 bonus Patreon questions from Love and Respect that we do every week. We also take the ads out of the podcast. You can get that 2 days early on Friday, but for just $1, you get it on Sunday. So if you already get the podcast on Sunday and you are curious to check out this version that has a little bit extra love and respect and no ads for just $1, you can get that on Sunday when everybody else gets the public version of the podcast. So you got
That was confusing.
what was it? It was confusing?
For $1, you get it 2 days early on Friday.
No, for $5, you get it 2 days early. Let me put it this way. If you get the podcast on Sundays on YouTube and you're like, if I can only just get away with those ads, I can just kick those ads right out of this podcast and get a little bit more love and respect, you can do that for just $1. You just don't get it early. You just get it Sunday.
I see.
Same time you would get the podcast regularly. I mean, I edit this podcast. I can go back and do the whole thing over again if you think.
No,
that wasn't
now I
communicated well.
understand.
Got it.
Maybe I was in a different headspace.
Do you understand?
A lot of that going around.
Do you understand the shout-out tier? It's our very tip-top tier, patreon.com/easyallies. We have some wonderful people at the shout-out tier, which we will thank right now. Shout-out to L. Fanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Estocal, and Nick. Shout out.
Shout
out.
Good save. It was far back. Yo, when you stop gaming after a while, don't you need like a 30-minute cooldown to come back to reality? Or am
Sure.
I alone in that?
No, that's the Sophie walk. It's 30 to 45 minutes.
need that.
Perfect.
I'm
Yeah,
like
absolutely
that
that.
That's
I'm
where
like
I
that
was
with
when I was
TV.
making that bet.
Yeah, I have to stop watching shows like an hour before bed, or I won't be able to sleep.
So I should get your bet right after you've been playing games. This is pretty good. You usually do Mike and Mike before the podcast. Nice. I've knocked one competitor out. Yeah. That must.
I wasn't thinking clearly.
Now we'll be in the
Different
lead for
headspace.
sure.
Yeah, dude, I said 20. Mostly? That's a common word.
Mostly in reviews, though, a common review word. We'll see. If there's 3,
I really hope there are 3.
I will write each of the people that wrote it in, chastising them. Michael Damiani, you get to promote any Easy Allies video you'd like to promote. You get the final word on anything you disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped in your head, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off. Thanks for doing the podcast, Huber. Jumping in, bonus ally.
Yeah. Let's promote because we put it for the first time on the main channel. The tier maker, monthly tier maker is on youtube.com/easyallies. Huber, we ranked bears.
What?
Yeah,
We did. We did.
We ranked
Black bear, grizzly bear,
Yes,
polar bear.
ranked
Yes.
bears.
Sloth bear,
But you
dude.
know what we did with them?
Sloth
Don't
bear.
don't spoil it, bro. Don't say it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't say it.
Don't
do
say
it?
it. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
All right.
Go
But
check
it's,
it out.
It's like a bit now that we just rank things that
We
Huber
ranked-
loves
we
whenever
ranked
he's not there.
Bears. We ranked Ernest movies
Spielberg movies?
and Spielberg movies.
Can you give me one spoiler?
No.
What, for Spielberg?
Yeah.
Gee, pick one that you think probably got an S. tier.
Where was
Oh my God.
Where was Munich?
A.
A, yeah.
Nice.
The
nice,
best
nice,
was
nice.
Crystal Skull Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn fighting for Crystal
Enough
Skull.
said. Yeah, enough said.
Crystal Skull and all of a sudden Dawn lights up like a Christmas tree.
Oh my gosh. We need to I want Dawn to make a video about Crystal Skull.
Well,
Yo,
but
the
first he
fridge
was
bit?
like,
Ten.
you guys aren't gonna like this. Like,
He started doing like his all greats thing. Like he stands up and he's
started
like, oh,
filibustering. Oh, Don.
no.
Missed it.
Final word. Didn't really disagree with anything. Thanks for joining us, Huber, and
Sweat. I was
everyone being here. Fun times. And until next time, may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
Biomutant, awesome raccoon. It was a good-looking boot.